and welcome to another episode of Sports With. What's going on, folks? It's your Sports With host here, Levon Whitaker. I'm here with a special guest, my guy Josh Tillwell. How you doing, man?
Hey, I'm doing all right, my man. Thanks for having me.
Hey, man, you know I gotta have you here, man. You of all people, this is your sport we're gonna talk about. You of all
right up my alley, right here.
You deserve to be
right up my alley.
This is your episode. You deserve to be on this segment,
That's
man.
the right person.
I'm glad you can
I'm
make
ready
it.
to show my wit.
Oh, okay. Hey, look, the brother's got an unlimited amount of enthusiasm. He come with the smack talking. He come with the energy. I absolutely love it because I get to rebuttal. So, man, today we're talking basketball.
Okay.
And the season starts in a couple days. It's a national holiday.
Yes, sir.
You know, okay?
Next Tuesday.
Next Tuesday, man. We ready for it, man. So, I want to talk about the NBA awards. I know it's a bit early, maybe 82 games early, but we're going to talk about it. Because I want to know what your mind is at. I want to know who you got as MVP, your Rookie of the Year, your Defensive Player of the Year, you know, your Sixth Man Player of the Year, your Most Improved, and your Coach of the Year.
Okay.
I want to know, and I'm sure mine too. To start things off, man, I'll go first, man.
Say less.
I'll go first. This is pretty simple to me, folks. We talk about the MVP. I cannot stress this enough that the LA Lakers are going to be the best team in the NBA. Okay, barring injury.
I won't argue with that.
And for that reason, they have two of the best players in the NBA. They're both top 5 players, right? You have heard of LeBron James. Y'all heard of LeBron James, right? You heard of Anthony Davis, all right? I believe it's going to be one of those two guys that wins MVP. And no, I don't think it's going to be close in the aspect of they're going to split the MVP award for two guys on the same team. That's not what I'm saying. But one of these guys...
You need to check your... You got some liquor in here? I'm just making sure you ain't got
this is water, folks. This is water, okay? Sure. It's almost Sunday, man. Look,
right.
Okay? Because this is the thing. You talk about two guys that can play different roles and have huge impact.
Right.
Okay? We're not talking about just on the team. We're talking about on the Western Conference. Anthony Davis, they said the offense is going to run through him. That leads me to believe that this is MVP college basketball that we're going to talk about, we're hearing about from Anthony Davis. And then you got the LeBron James in the mix. I'm surprised in the rankings that just came out that LeBron wasn't a top 5 MVP candidate. Shocking. This is LeBron James. You're talking about 17 years. And I'm going to go up the set here for a second because I forgot something. Okay? Before I move forward with that, I got to talk about my boy DWade.
No, he didn't.
And I'm going to get a little... I'm going to get a little emotional here because here's the thing, man. I try to wipe my tears, man. Hold on, man. Because DWade, 16 years. I'm actually tearing up. 16 years. Okay? Wow. Way of Wade. Flash. Okay? Father Prime. After 16 years, man, he's not going to be in the NBA. Y'all know y'all wondering why I got a Bulls jersey instead of a Heat jersey where he played most of his career.
Right. Where's the Wade County at?
Here's the thing. There's a story behind this besides the fact that somebody got it for me, okay? It was a present. But the reason I haven't gotten a DWade Wade Miami Heat jersey is because I met DWade Wade, okay? But for those of you who don't know, I work for the Indiana Pacers. We work for the Indiana Pacers, okay? We worked together in college and now we're in professional. I met DWade Wade during preseason, his first season with the NBA, with the Chicago Bulls.
Really?
And from that moment on, like, I don't even need no Heat jersey, okay? I ain't never been to Miami.
I like this DWade.
I ain't never been to American Airlines Arena. This is the DWade I like. Man, you know, look, I met DWade Wade. I said, hey, I'm on the sideline, man. I'm holding the camera. I'm like, hey, DWade warming up, man. He comes my way. I said, hey, man, you my favorite player in the world, man. You my favorite athlete, right along with Derek Jeter. Can I just shake your hand? DWade Wade reached out. He shakes my hand. I hope you see this, DWade Wade, because you and Gabrielle Union are the most beautiful woman on the earth. It's only right that y'all together, and you're my favorite athlete of all time.
Hey,
man. Hey, with all due respect, brother, you from Chicago. I'm from the G. You know what it is. Ain't no disrespect. I want to cross that line. But the thing about it is, man, he shook my hand, and I tweeted after the game. I said, man, I just met DWade Wade. I mentioned him in a tweet, and he tweeted back.
What?
And so I just gotta let y'all know. Hey, man, I just gotta let y'all know, man. This is special.
He sleeps with that jersey.
Hey, believe it or not, it may have been there a couple of times, man. Okay, but DWade Wade, man, I love you, man. You part of the family, man. As my guy Chris Cross will say with Mixed Emotion, make sure I check that out, by the way. My guy Chris Cross will say, you part of the family, man. You can come to my house anytime and go in the crib. Again, that's not my original joke. That's what my guy Christian Cross with Mixed Emotions, another podcast I need to check out. But, man, That's my reason for choosing these two brothers. Back to that, okay, the MVP.
So let me go ahead and just
and a sleeper
real
pick, real quick. A sleeper pick, Jimmy Butler.
For MVP.
A sleeper pick, MVP, Jimmy Butler.
I'm going to go ahead and call it right now. I'm going to let you finish. But hold on real quick, because I'm going to go ahead and call it right now. He will not even make the top 5. He will not be a top 5.
I'm just saying it's a possibility with him being on that team with nobody else besides Tyler Hero, which I will mention later on. If he can come out and beat Jimmy Butler, we know he was in Chicago.
The Heat would have to be a top 3 seed for Jimmy Butler.
Granted, it's the popularity vote, so I don't believe he will be top 5, but I believe he can make a strong case for top 4 MVP.
The Heat fans don't make it to the games after halftime. What they gonna vote for? Come on, man.
I'll leave it to you, man. You go ahead, man. Go ahead.
Let me interject real quick because LeBron and AD. Now, let me go ahead and disclose my bias here. I am a Laker fan, but I would not say that Bron is going to win MVP. He's in his 17th season. I think the Lakers are going to be handling him with some load management, especially after this long rest he had. They're looking for him to stay healthy throughout the whole season. AD, we already know he has injury concerns already coming to LA. He has a lot of knick-knack type of injuries. Nothing really serious, but a lot of like thumb. We just had a thumb injury. Matter of fact, last week we had an MRI going on.
Eyebrows.
So like it's like something crazy always at the pinky toe. Like it's always something crazy with him. So like I would go ahead and say it's very unlikely that one of those two win MVP. And plus, I don't think they're going to play a full season at that.
Not together. I don't believe so.
I don't think so at all. I think they'll be lucky to probably play 65 games, maybe. I think that would be lucky for them. But I'm going to go ahead and disclose my MVP pick. I'm going to go ahead and say we're going to have a back-to-back MVP. And if you didn't know who won last year, that's my man Giannis Antetokounmpo. Now, and I'm just going to go ahead and give you the backstory here. Now, I would love for there to be a new MVP this year. But unfortunately, there's been a lot of change in the league, a lot of turnover here. And so I'm going to go with the guy that still doesn't – actually, he lost one of his best players, Malcolm Brogdon, who's now on the Pacers. And so now you've got a team that's basically sitting around Chris Middleton and Giannis. Giannis is going to be doing a lot of what you've seen last year, plus more, because he's going to have to handle the ball a lot more now. I'm going to go ahead and say Giannis is getting MVP.
I just don't understand.
My second pick, I actually had AD down there, just because I know the Lakers are going to center the offense around him. So I picked him to come in second. And then last but not least, I had Steph Curry as the third pick. Now, I honestly believe if Steph can stay healthy the full season, I think it's fully likely that he becomes MVP, in all honesty. No Clay all year. We've seen how much of a volume shooter Steph can be. We know how it's going to be now with no KD, no Clay. It's going to be a Steph Curry show. Chase Center is going to be going nuts for Steph Curry to pull up from deep.
Arena.
That I think is going to be Steph Curry's award to lose unless he gets hurt. I think that's the only way Steph Curry doesn't win MVP this year. They get hurt. He gets hurt. And the Warriors are god awful.
Yeah,
that's the only way.
And with his usage rate going up like it is, he's pretty injury prone below the waist, so you never know what that's going to lead him to.
Facts.
I'm going to jump into a couple of topics. I'm going to jump into Coach of the Year right quick, just because it's going to take less time. I'm going to talk about Coach of the Year. I'm going to say Mike D'Antoni or Brett Brown. The reason for Mike D'Antoni, okay? The reason for Mike D'Antoni is you have Russell Westbrook now. You talk about a point guard's coach, okay? He transitioned James Harden into a point guard. He's done a very good job at making Austin Rivers, quality point guard for that team chemistry. And then you got Russell Westbrook. I believe this is his award to lose because of the spark he's going to, again, all these awards are popularity awards, except maybe most improved defensive player of the year. But you're talking about a coach that can get the job done. They can definitely rack up the wins. They're definitely going to improve their points in the paint. They're definitely going to improve points in transition. Two things they struggled with drastically last season. They were bottom half for both of those, while the Thunder were in top half for both of those. Okay. So I believe that Mike D'Antoni has a great chance to win Coach of the Year. The reason I say Brett Brown because the roster is stacked, and not to dive into the bench so much, but if that starting five can stay healthy, with Al Horford and Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons, Brett Brown makes a strong case for Coach of the Year. And that's my 2 cents on that.
I like Brett Brown. That was one person I didn't really look too much into. They do have a nice roster. I do have Philly coming out the East. So I like the Brett Brown pick. Now, the Mike D'Antoni I'm going to have to disagree with wholeheartedly. I'm going to have to disagree with that Mike D'Antoni. Unfortunately, I just feel like it's going to be tough for Russ and James to mesh together. Now, they are friends. They have played together in OKC, but we've seen what that led to. They traded James for a reason. They made a decision.
Because he wanted his role to be larger than what it was.
Well, and clearly they didn't think it could be playing with Russell.
But he couldn't expand his game because of the fact that, they just didn't want him to. Now he's expanding his game. He's reached his potential. He's still climbing that wall, actually. And you got an athletic freak in Russell Westbrook who can change his game. I don't believe James Harden's game is I don't believe that his game can transition much more than what it is right now. Versus Russell Westbrook was freakishly athletic, can actually tweak his game a little bit. I'm not saying he has to be this sharp shooter, but his ability to cut, his ability to get open, his ability to get off the screens and run the court is amazing. I don't see James Harden.
So I'm going to disagree with you right there because Russell does not play good off the ball.
He doesn't, but that's better be part of the game he can change and tweak. I believe he can do that under Mike D'Antoni.
Yeah, I think, honestly, for D'Antoni, if anything, he needs to let Russell handle the ball. Since Harden's a better shooter, he can do more off the ball than Russell can. Yeah. But I don't think it's going to work that way. I think James is still going to have the ball. I think it's going to be a James and Russell show. It's going to be a lot of one. Same thing we see with Chris Paul, honestly.
I believe
it's going to be a lot of 1-2 punches, a lot of back and forth. They're shooting 75% of the shots.
Yeah. And what was the problem you saw with Chris Paul had because he couldn't get points inside the basket, inside the paint. Right. So it's going to be a similar offense. Chris Paul getting open, Russell Westbrook getting open. The difference with Russell Westbrook is he can make cuts, he can get to the basket. Russell Westbrook can get to the paint on a dime from James Harden or from the top of the key from whoever and actually bully his way to a basket. Chris Paul didn't have that advantage because of his height. Russell Westbrook, freakishly athletic, has the height and has the assertiveness to do much.
So where do you have the Rockets finishing this season?
I have them finishing number 4.
And that's your coach of the year?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, well, let me go ahead and get into my coach of the year.
Okay.
Man. Since the 4th seed gets coach of the year all of a sudden now.
You're talking about the Clippers and the okay. I'll let you go ahead. We got to get through this.
So I got my coach of the year, Mike Malone of the Denver Nuggets.
Okay.
Last year, I believe he came in second in coach of the year voting. This year, I mean, they're a great. This is a regular season award. If they would have went the whole season, Doc Rivers would have won it for the Clippers surprise finish. But it's a regular season award. It's a regular season team. They have pretty much the same roster outside of Jeremy Grant from OKC, which is a huge pickup for them. They basically just got an upgrade from Will Barton.
Definitely.
I really think that the Nuggets will probably finish the top seed in the West this year because I think the Lakers are going to be doing a lot of load management stuff. So I think the Nuggets will probably be the top seed in the West, which will lead to Mike Malone being coach of the year. And I also have Alvin Gentry coming into a close second there because I honestly feel like the Pelicans got a decent shot to make the playoffs. And if they make the playoffs the way they love Zion Williamson, they're going to reward that coach from bringing a team that was outside the playoffs, losing their star player, all-NBA player, and now just came back and won and made the playoffs of the year.
When you talk about a reward, here's the reward that he needs. Give him some extra money. Don't get that man a damn coach of the year. I like Alvin Gentry better as an assistant coach though as a head coach. I don't believe that. No, I'm not even going to continue to dive into that.
You don't think Alvin Gentry's a good coach?
I believe he's a good coach. If you're going to give him a coach award, give him assistant coach of the year though. If you're going to give him an award as a head coach, give him some more money. Okay? He is not coach of the year. And he will not make the playoffs.
Okay, we're going to see.
All right. I'm going to let you dive into your 6th man of the year.
Okay, perfect. So 6th man of the year, this was kind of tough. Definitely without the season starting yet, it was tough to figure out who was going to be actually coming off the bench, who was going to get a lot of minutes off the bench. Because, 6 man, they equate a lot into that. If you play so many minutes, you're not qualified anymore. Right. So it's kind of tough. But I went with Kyle Kuzma.
Okay.
I think it made sense. He's not going to start for the Lakers, at least not initially for sure, because of the fact of him coming off an injury. So he's going to be coming off the bench, and I think he'll probably come off the bench the whole season to keep some firepower off the bench. And when he does come in the game, he's going to be either the first or second scoring option of all time. Yeah. So I think he has a really good shot to make 6th man of the year. And then second, I had Lou Will, of course, coming on that Clippers team. But I honestly think the reason why he won't win, I think the voters are going to get tired of voting for him. This would be his 3rd year in a row he would have won if they vote for him again. Yeah. So I think they're going to have a new face coming on there. So I got Lou Will coming in second, Kuzma first, and then third I got Terrence Ross, another sleeper for the Magic.
Oh, okay. I did not think of that guy at all. And it's probably a reason because he plays for the Magic.
Okay. At least you didn't say he wasn't good. I was about to kill you. I was about to say, hold on now.
He's good, but I don't know.
Okay, all right. Well, let me hear what you got.
Okay, to start things off, by default, I got Lou Wills. Okay, you can't never exclude this guy from 6th man of the year award. But barring injury for the Celtics, we battled injury over the last couple of years. A lot of players. I'm going to do with Jaylen Brown, a guy that has a lot to prove this year. He's potentially going to come off the bench after behind Marcus Smart. Yeah, after Marcus Smart, after Gordon Hayward, this is a contract year. You talk about a brother that wants to prove himself because the organization doesn't want to pay him. We know, okay, and if you don't know, I'm telling you, the MO of Danny Ainge. He will pick you up, he will cut you up, and put you on a platter and give your butt away. Okay? You ain't got a chance if you ain't proving yourself. We've seen it with Isaiah Thomas. He was a contract year for this guy, and you're gonna see it with Jaylen Brown this year, I believe. That's all I have to say about that. Right?
Okay. I mean, I won't grill you too much. You know what I'm saying? This is your show, but I'm gonna go ahead and say I disagree with the Jaylen Brown. I think he's gonna play too much. I personally do.
And I believe that and anything sets him off from getting that award, that'll be it.
Okay.
That'll definitely be it. Because it's a team that's trying to, Brad Stevens is a great coach, but he has to figure some things out. And he is not afraid of putting guys in the starting lineup or accelerating minutes for this.
I think he may start too many games for the Celtics.
I can see that being a problem, yeah. Next up, we're going to go with Defensive Player of the Year. Mine's pretty simple. A guy that was running up last year, Miles Turner. You talk about a guy on a team that's very defensive-minded right now behind what's my coach, Nate McMillan. You're talking about a guy that's going to have to play so much defense. No Oladipo right now. He's going to play this season. But a team that really has to focus defensively and stop teams more than they would have to, put points up on them, because you got a guy like Malcolm Brogdon, great defender, that left the Milwaukee Bucks, great pickup for the Indiana Pacers. Then you got T.J. Warren, great pickup, defensive-minded player. Miles Turner, and if they still have Sabonis, he's going to be an addition as well. Miles Turner, oftentimes is finishing top 3 in blocks. I believe he's going to finish that way as well this year, and the Pacers are going to stand out because of Miles Turner.
Okay, I mean, I really can't argue too much there. I honestly didn't. For some reason, Miles didn't really cross my mind enough. Hey. I don't know why.
It ain't just because I work for him.
Good. He is the top shot blocker in the league. So I'm not going to sit here and lie like he's not. But I went a little different route there. I actually went with a repeat.
Okay.
I have a good feeling that Rudy Gobert is going to do a lot of what he did last year for the Jazz. The defense is centered around him doing what he does well, which is blocking shots. So I'm going to go ahead and go with Rudy Gobert doing what he did again. He was considered an all-star for this reason, cried last year because of this. So I'm going to go ahead and say I think he's going to come back strong. He's going to be ready to wipe away some of them tears and make a couple other people cry instead.
That little bonus is definitely wipe away the tears to not make it all-star.
Yeah, I think he's going to do his thing this year. So I got Rudy Gobert and then AD with a close second.
Okay, I didn't think of AD, but that's a great pick as well. I actually agree with those picks.
Okay.
Defensive Player of the Year is kind of one of those things you don't know how it's going to turn out. You know guys like Rudy Gobert, Miles Turner, and Draymond Green are always in the mix. We're going to move on to Most Improved Player. Okay? I'll let you go first, man.
All right. So with Most Improved, that was kind of similar with the Six-Man Award. It was really tough to kind of gauge that now. And also looking at it, it's kind of like, what do you value with a player when it comes to Most Improved? Because, like, for instance, one of my thoughts was like a Trae Young. I consider him being one of the players, leading candidate for Most Improved. But then I was kind of thinking, like, well, he also had a very good year last year. So, I mean, how do you look at it? If assist numbers go up some more, do you consider that? So it was kind of tough. But I went with one that I think is very much so possible, but also a little bit kind of almost outlandish at the same time. I went with Lonzo Ball. Lonzo Ball being the Most Improved Player this year. One of my main reasons.
Let's check your cup.
It's water. Matter of fact, hold on.
Okay.
It's water. It's water, y'all. It's water.
Man. We don't drinking on this 7.
But no, I went with Lonzo Ball honestly because I feel like a fresh start, fresh change of scenery for him is going to do wonders for his game. The fact that now he doesn't have the pressure of being this 20-point game scorer that his dad talked him up to be, this guy that's the best player in the world, quote unquote, that his dad talked him up to be. LeVar's chilled a lot. Yeah. So I think now Lonzo realizes it's not about proving my dad right, it's about proving people that I belong at this point.
Yeah.
I think he's going to really take a huge step up. His assist numbers are going to go up. I think he has a chance to average 10 assists a game this year. And then I think he has a good chance to be a 15-10 type of guy this year with New Orleans.
I can see that, especially playing with Drew Holiday. That'll definitely boost his game in a good way.
Definitely.
All right, man. Well, look, that's enough for Most Improved Player of the Year. We're going to jump into Rookie of the Year right quick. This is our last little, award we're going to talk about. Okay. I'm going to keep this short. I know y'all want to hear about Zion Williamson. I am not going to pick him. I get it. Don't beat me up. Okay, look. This is the reason why I don't believe this guy's going to make it. I'm not even one of those optimistic guys. Let me just be different. Let me go against the grain. That ain't my MO. But I believe that after the news we got today, with his right knee issue, the same issue he had a problem with in college when he's a dude. This could be an everlasting issue for this brother, especially at this age, this young. Granted, he's going to recover well, but it's going to come back and continue to come back and continue to come back. And I believe that's going to be an issue for this guy. And because of that, I believe that opens doors up for two more guys that I like to mention. Ja Morant, who's going to be in high ball usage, in Memphis, with Jaren Jackson, okay? And the other guy, Tyler Hero. I'm a Miami Heat fan, I'm not being biased, okay? I promise you I'm not. But I have to say this. I didn't even want the guy to get drafted. But, and I know this is shocking, but it's one of those things where I just didn't know too much about the guy. I hadn't really seen him play. It's kind of like having a trade in fantasy football. Somebody offers you some guys for a very standout guy. In my instance, they wanted Josh Jacobs. They wanted to give me Josh Jacobs and Todd Gurley for Michael Thomas. And I was like, well, I like Gurley, even though he's not, kind of injury prone. But I don't like Josh Jacobs. And it wasn't because I didn't see the stats. The stats were great. I hadn't seen the guy play. And I haven't seen Tyler Hero play as much prior to getting drafted. So that's why I didn't really agree with it. But when I seen him play, okay, when I seen him put up 14 straight points against the Atlanta Hawks in preseason, when I heard what Jimmy Butler had to say about this guy, and knowing Jimmy Butler does not like to give guys high praises. You seen what he did in Chicago, you seen what he did in Minnesota, and you seen what he did in Philly. So for that reason, I'm going to listen to Jimmy Butler here. Not because I don't want to get beat up, but because this guy, he gives credit where credit is due. And that's why I like Tyler Hero. That's why I like Jimmy Butler's high praises for this guy. And I'm going to go with Ja Morant and Tyler Hero. And I'm going to keep it at that.
All right, so I'm going to go ahead and disagree with my man's here. Unfortunately.
We done a lot of that tonight, man.
Yeah, I know, I see. And you've been off the sauce tonight because here you go again saying some crazy stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and keep it real with y'all. We already know who's the hype beast coming into the season. That's Zion Williamson. And the only way, and Lima had a good point there, because the only way he doesn't win is if he does get hurt. And honestly, I think that the Pelicans are going to be so cautious with him, it's very unlikely that he misses the majority of the season, which we already see now. I'm pretty sure he could have played tonight if they wanted him to, but knee soreness got him out for a couple of weeks now, so they're going to handle him with kid gloves. But I think when he gets on the court, he's going to do what he's been doing. What we've seen at Duke, what we've seen in the preseason, and with him being such a draw and a hype beast, he's going to get that award if he plays more than 60% of the season.
I can see that being the case. Go ahead.
Yeah, man. I was going to go ahead and say second. I'm going to agree with you with Ja Morant. Mm-hmm. I think he's going to have a high usage rate, which you had talked about, and I think that's going to lead to him being Rookie of the Year. Well, not Rookie of the Year, sorry. That's going to lead to him being second in Rookie of the Year voting, just because of the high volume he's going to have the ball. And Memphis is not looking to win this year. They're going to be so focused on developing Ja and Jaren Jackson's chemistry that he's going to just have the ball majority of the time he's on the court. And then lastly, I had Tyler Hero in there. I am going to go ahead and agree with you there. I do think that he has shown so much in the preseason and summer league. This kid is above his years right now. He's already doing moves that vets are doing regularly. But I'm going to go ahead and say his playing time, I'm not so confident he's going to get the playing time that you think he is going to get. So I don't think he's really going to be in the conversation as much for Rookie of the Year as those top two I mentioned, Zion and Ja Morant.
I like the point you make about the minutes. I also didn't think about it, but I happen to believe that Eric Spoelstra does a great job with allocating minutes as he needs to throughout the season. You've seen it with Justin Winslow, you've seen it with Dragic, and you've seen it with Josh Richardson. I believe that I have faith in him. Not saying it's going to be the case, but I have faith that he'll make the right decisions for Tyler Hero. If he's hot, he's hot. Okay, it's just that simple. Well, folks, hey man. I appreciate you being on another episode of Sports
Pleasure having me, man.
Hey.
Always down to show my wit.
Hey, man. Hey, you can come back down and get this beat down anytime you want, man. The door is always open.
I'll let y'all be the judge of that. I don't think I took a beat down.
Y'all let us know what y'all think, man. This draft's great. You had great commentary, great stats, and great just great research in general, man.
Appreciate great job, man. Jimmy Butler for MVP.
Okay, you gonna take that about? Okay. Hey, we definitely gonna have this brother back. We definitely gonna have him back. Hey, folks. That wraps up another episode of Sports With, folks. And remember this, good people. Look, a record, whether good or bad, does not equal or amount to the talent of a team. But one thing it will do is keep you from advancing to the postseason. Okay? It will keep you out of the playoffs. So keep that in mind when you're rooting for your team. We talk about the talent, and the record ain't matched up to the talent. It ain't got to, and it doesn't. But it will keep you out of the playoffs, and you will not be rooting after the regular season for your team. Folks, that's another episode. Like I said before, y'all be safe, y'all keep pushing, and God bless.
What's going on, folks? It's your Sportswear host here, Levon Whitaker. I just want you all to know to follow me on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Also, be sure to follow me on sportswit.com. Thank you.